All right, let's take a look at what's going wrong with our code here. All I did was move the 19 from being the last horse strength to the first horse strength, and my test case no longer works. Why is that? And well, you might have already guessed. If not, you might want to pause the video here, see if you can figure this bug out. Um, I only ever compare the first horse strength to the others. So I'll compare 19 to 8, and I'll compare 19 to 5, but I never compare 8 to 5, which is where that smallest distance lives, right? So right now I have hard coded this test with the first horse strength. So instead, I need to come up with a way um, to to test all the horse strengths. So I am building this array, which is nice. And I think I can use that. So um, I still only want to do a test when I have more than one horse strength. So I'm going to leave this if in there. But now what I think I want to do is when I have these um, values here, and I might have other ones here, right? 32, 456. 987, right? However many values. So that now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this ought to be a 6. Um, when I start loading these values, when I get the 8 in there, I should compare the 8 to the 19. And that will initially give me my smallest distance. It'll be the only distance I have, but that'll be the smallest. And then when I get the 5, I can compare the 5 to the 8 and the 5 to the 19. And then the next one I read in will be the 32. And I should compare the 32 to the 5, and the 32 to the 8, and the 32 to the 19. And I can keep doing this for each new horse strength I read in and write it out to the other, um, uh, compare the new horse strength to all of the other horse strengths. And if I find a smaller distance, I will keep track of what that smaller distance is. Let's see what that looks like in code. All right, so I'm going to put in another for loop. Um, so let's put in my for int, and then I'm going to call this one j. Right? We often use these letters I, j, and k for our loop variables. I'll start that off at 0, so I'll start at the top of my array. I'm going to go through this horse strengths array again, but I want to stop not at the number of horse strengths, but the size of the array that I've gotten through so far. And what is that going to be? That's going to be I. So while j is less than I want to increase j. Now here, inside here is where I want to do my check. So if the distance, and you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to get a temp distance. So I don't have to keep rewriting this because I ran into a problem before um, where uh, I changed it in one place and didn't change it in another. So I'm going to just keep temp distance to be this absolute value, but it shouldn't be of the 0th element, right? I want to check the jth element, right? The one that I'm looping through. And I want to compare that to the one that I just read in, pi. So if that is going to be my temporary distance. And then I can do this check to see if temp distance is less than distance. I need to put this inside my for loop so that it has the proper scope. There we go. And if the temp distance is less than the distance, then I'll say that the distance is then going to be set to temp distance, right? So here, you go back through the video and rewatch that change if you want. Let's double check, make sure all my corrections are in here. So now I should see my test case pass. All right. Will all of my test cases pass? Many horses is not. Let's check in the next video to see if we can figure out what's going on wrong with this last test case.